Super Bowl 60 has arrived, James. The final game
Woo.
of the season is here, sadly, but we do have a very fun Super Bowl ahead. We have the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots duking it out in Santa Clara for supremacy this season. Now, before we jump into our picks, if you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to Big Game Energy Sports. Get us on TikTok, get us on Instagram. Make sure you are liked and subscribed on all of our social medias for daily sports content. Even though football season's ending, we are coming at you hard with basketball starting next week.
Heck yeah.
James, the spread right now is the Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. I'm showing that that's the line it opened at, and that is where it has pretty much stayed all week long. James, what are your thoughts on this line?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. We all thought, seeing how these two teams have played during the playoffs, Seattle's been a wagon. New England has been skating by. Everyone's joked about how easy the way has been for the Patriots. But to still stay at 4.5 is really, I will say, is shocking. Because if everyone thinks Seattle's the big bad dog when they're going to come in and huff and puff and blow down the house in Levi Stadium where the 49ers play, then this point spread should be at like 6, 7, you know.
Do we still make those jokes? Is that still a thing?
I think so. So you would think it would be a higher point spread. Now, I'm not going to lie. When the game ended in NFC Championship, I was like, the Seahawks got this. But now, with everything trends-wise, this and that, Spence, I'm not going to lie, man. I am going to go with the Patriots plus 4.5 in this game. We can joke about all those weird trends that the teams that come in from the East and teams come in from the West, the team that come in West are like 9-0 the last 9 Super Bowls that favors the Patriots. Since the last 30 years of the Super Bowl, the point spread when it's at 4.5, the underdog is covered 14-2-2. But in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, this is a game for me, Spence, about the Patriots defense, who hopefully we expect to be down on Sam Darnold. But number two, I am gonna go with the experience of not just Mike Vrabel being a player and a coach in this game, but also guys like Josh McDaniels who are in their 9th and 10th Super Bowl. And it's like, okay, he can draw up plays. He may not have been might have been a crap as a head coach for all them other teams. But when it comes to being a coordinator and being in the Super Bowl, hey, you got to trust who you got. And I think those two guys can draw up schemes on both sides of the ball because Mike Vrabel's the defensive guy. Got to find ways because guess what, man? I know this is a Jets thing, but, man, they're trying to find ways to make sure Sam Darnold sees ghost again like he did when he was a Jet playing the Patriots. And, of course, I'm not going to say, Sam Darnold's 0-4 against the Patriots, Seahawks fans, because that was
That's a
all
Jet stat.
the
That's
Jet
a Jet
stat.
stat.
Yeah, so, nobody I'm not doing that. But I will say, if there's another trend that does favor the Patriots in my eye, it's the referee Sean Smith, just because Mike Vrabel is 6-3 straight up as a head coach when he's reffing the games. And technically, small sample size, Mike McDonald is 0-1 straight up when he's reffing their games, and that was against the Giants.
Let me just clarify with you. Are you saying you got Patriots to cover, or are you taking Patriots money line?
I'm taking Patriots to cover. I'm an underdogs guy.
You wouldn't bet the money line.
I wouldn't bet the money line. You know me, man. I have no cojones when it comes to doing that. I guess you should because it's the only game left. But in my eye, I do see this becoming a Seattle 23-20 victory. I do see the Patriots getting up at the end, but finding a way. I feel like we're going to get that Arizona Cardinal Pittsburgh Steeler game where Sam Darnold's thrown in the corner of the end zone to JSN to lock in the 3-point dub. And guess what? Hey, that's a win for me and you, because if you're going with the Seahawks, and you'll probably do the money line anyway, it's not a big deal. But hey, man, at least the Patriots cover.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks. I like I said, I think the Seahawks line here is 4.5, and it hasn't moved at all. Now, if anything, I'm surprised it didn't move a little bit closer, maybe up to 5, with this news that Drake May might actually have a little bit of an injury. Now, that doesn't bode well against a very physical and tough Seahawks defense that has been murder's row for opposing offenses the entire season. The thing is, you mentioned it, the Patriots, for them to win this game, they're going to have to bank on Josh McDaniels getting in the kitchen and cooking up something special. And yeah, I'm a big fan of that Patriots defense, but I don't think with the way Sam Darnold's playing in this postseason, I don't see them doing enough. By the way, one big matchup in this game to watch. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, one of the best wide receivers in the league. Christian Gonzalez, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. And we talked about this earlier in the week, how if Christian Gonzalez can show out, this is going to mean a lot for his legacy. Small problem. And I found this out earlier this week. The last time the Seahawks and Patriots played each other in 2024, JSN pieced up Christian Gonzalez for 8 for 144. It's not a favorable matchup for Christian Gonzalez. And I think with the way that the Seahawks have been playing on both sides of the ball, you also have the special teams aspect of it. I prefer the special teams for the Seahawks. Jason Myers, one of the best kickers in the game. Michael Dixon, a great punter. And, of course, we know Rashid Shaheed, one of the best return men in the game. I just think the Seahawks, top to bottom, are just a much better team. I might give the coaching advantage slightly to the Patriots because of the experience factor, but Mike McDonald has done such a great job with the Seahawks. It just seems like at this point, this team is just too good top to bottom. And historically, I would say about 6 or 7 years ago, that I was always looking at the game and going, which quarterback do I like more? And I would pick that team to win the Super Bowl. And for a long time, it would work out because I was always betting on Patrick Mahomes. Last year, I flipped, though. Last year, as you well know, and you're wearing the shirt, I rode the Eagles with you hard, and it worked out going for the best team, not the best quarterback. So I'm going to run that strategy back this year, even though I think Drake May is the superior quarterback. Honestly, it's arguable if he really is the superior quarterback over the playoffs. Sam Darnold's been playing at an elite level since the playoffs began. Elite, I think he continues that, but I do think, I'm going to put this out here, I don't think Sam Darnold's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. I think it's going to be someone on that defense. I think someone on that defense is going to make a play, and I think the Seahawks are going to pull it out. So those are our picks, but let's talk about the over-under. The total, James, is set at 45.5. Do you have the over or the under on that?
I am actually going with the under on this game. I know the under killed me last year in the Super Bowl because of the dead time with the freaking Chiefs out there just throwing balls left and right, whatever, yada, yada. But I'm not going to lie. I'm going with the under. Last year, the under killed me because of all the free time that the Chiefs had to rack up some points as the Eagles blew out the Chiefs 40-22. But I'm going back with the under just because these two teams are the top 5 slowest paced teams in the NFL. This season, the Patriots are running every snap at about 28.8 seconds in the league. That's number 2. And Seattle is running at every 28.6 seconds. So we have the 3rd and 4th slowest teams in the NFL. And with the Seahawks, they rank number 1 in running the ball 50% of the time, while the Patriots, they're 5th on that list at running about 48% of the time. So I do expect a couple things right off the gate. One, if I'm betting anything, I'm betting a run on the first play of the game. I'm betting on no one to score within the first 6 minutes or whatever they're giving you, 5.5, 6 minutes. I'm going to go that route as well. And I might be fun and go with first possession for each team, punt and punt, because I think both of these teams will be conservative. Let their defenses eat, and then maybe the pace will pick up in that 3rd and 4th quarter. In all honesty, these two teams, in my eye, I think you mentioned it earlier, the Seahawks defense is just hammering a bunch of dogs. And with the Patriots, they're just so sound, technical to technique and fundamentals with Mike Vrabel being their head coach. And then you got only experience you got is Milton Williams, who can hopefully he can come in and make a wreck, because I know we would say the weakest part of probably Seattle is that inside interior where you're not going to see the Patriots just rush 4 players. They're going to bring those defensive ends and they're going to attack from the inside and flip the other guys out and see if they'll get Sam Darnold running on his feet for sure. But in all honesty, though, I see this being an under. Like I mentioned earlier, I got 23-20. I do think this game gets to about 20-16 with the last possession going to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you here on this one. I've got the under as well. I see this game being somewhere in the ballpark. It's going to be a sweaty one, I believe. I think 45 is a very tricky number. They set a good line, but I've got this game 27-16 Seahawks. At them 2016 late in the fourth quarter, and we get a JSN or Kenneth Walker touchdown to seal the deal for the Seahawks. Now, before we go, James, Super Bowl MVP, who you got?
I am going to go with JSN. I don't believe it'll be because of Sam Darnold. He's been the guy all year, and the last time we seen this was Cooper Kupp, and he was a Ram, and now he's a Seahawk. So give it to JSN.
Yeah, I love the pick. But y'all let us know in the comments who you got in Super Bowl 60. What do you got for the total of 45.5? You got the over or the under? Y'all let us know, and stay tuned for more big game energy content. Just because football season's ending does not mean we are. We're still bringing you sports action. Our attention will turn to basketball here soon. But until then, y'all enjoy the Super Bowl, and y'all take it easy.